Hello everyone, good morning. I've got some tea for my throat because as an English teacher, this is necessary. Today I am going to do a little Q&A video. I've gotten a lot of questions recently about teaching in Korea, life in Korea, Korea during the pandemic, stuff like that. And I thought I would just do a video for you guys, just going over your questions and answering them. I haven't done a Q&A video in so long, but I did post a question on Instagram asking you guys for your questions, and that's where all of these questions came from. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Let's get right on into the questions. I'm super excited, so let's just like chill with some tea and let's have a good chat. I also did not plan any answers for these questions. These are my non-scripted answers, everyone, so that's fun. I don't know where to start. Okay, the first question that I have you experienced any foreigner discrimination whilst living there so far? And this is actually interesting because I kind of feel like I have experienced like a little bit. Like I didn't used to when I was here before, but I feel like because of COVID, people I feel like some Koreans, I can't judge the whole country or like everyone who lives in this country, but I have had a few experiences where I feel like people have just felt like because I'm an American who came to Korea that I suddenly carry COVID or that I'm more likely to have COVID or to give it to people. I feel like on the subways people don't sit by me if they can help it, or they kind of like, I don't know, I've literally had people like scoot away from me before. This is not every Korean at all. This is just like I've noticed it like a few times while being here. Yeah, so I feel like there's that, and then also like our vaccination cards, like foreigner vaccination cards were not even like, we couldn't even register them for the longest time because I don't even know why, but that I feel like is kind of like a form of discrimination. Like we got our vaccine, the same vaccine, just in another country, and they didn't let us register to be fully vaccinated for months. And you know, now that they're finally letting that be registered, my vaccination's just expired because it's been over 6 months. So that's the thing. But I feel like I have experienced like a little bit of discrimination. I would say it's not a lot at all, but I feel like I've definitely experienced a little bit of that, and I think it's COVID related. I think it's kind of caused by COVID. But also, I remember like whenever a major holiday comes, like Halloween, like us foreign teachers at my job were basically like, literally the parents didn't want us going out at all. They didn't care about the Korean teachers going out for Halloween, but they were like, foreign teachers, no, they can't go out because they're gonna get COVID. So definitely felt some you know, discrimination there, but overall I feel like overall in Korea, no, but there are certain instances and cases mainly related to COVID as to why I've experienced a little bit of it. But next question, have any person tried to get you into a cult? Surprisingly, no. And I think this is because I'm like in outer Seoul and I haven't traveled too much into Seoul, or maybe it's COVID as well, but like when I was here summer 2019, I definitely had some cults, like culty people approaching me, and that was not fun. I actually had a lot of fun with some of them. But that's a story for another time. But yeah, I've had none of those experiences so far being here, and I think a lot of it is that I haven't been in like major parts of Seoul, and COVID has been, I think, keeping that from happening. I don't know, but yeah, I haven't had any experiences like that so far. Next question, what part of Seoul is the best for shopping? I honestly wouldn't know. All I shop at is like underground shopping malls, which I mentioned in my previous video. But other than that, I really don't know. I'm really not the person to ask about that, but I generally shop in underground shopping malls because the prices are cheaper and it's just really fun. I like it. Next question, have you made any new friends? If so, how is that going? Also love your channel. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you like my channel. When it comes to making new friends, I actually haven't really made many new friends since getting here. Work has taken over a lot of my life, and then YouTube has taken over the other part. So I still hang out with like my friends I made here a while ago, like Cassie and Chaewon. But as far as like new friends, I haven't really made that many. And I think it's because I haven't tried. I mean, my coworkers are definitely my friends. We've hung out a few times, but when it comes to like getting out there and making new friends, like I have no idea how I would even like try to do that. Again, because of like the pandemic as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm an ENFP, I'm extroverted, I love my friends, but it's hard for me to get out there and make friends, and I haven't really figured out how to do that. When you're studying abroad, it's way easier to do that because you're literally just like hanging out with tons of people all the time, but yeah, when you're working here, it's like your coworkers are your friends, and then, yeah, I don't know how to make friends other than that. I'm sorry. I'm kind of suck at like making friends, but I've made a few friends at church, but like we haven't really like hung out. We're just like church friends, so yeah. Next question, how are you always so happy and positive? How's church in Korea? All right, so this is like 2 questions in one, but they kind of honestly go together. But like honestly, I am not happy and positive all the time. I really am not. October was probably one of like the hardest months of the year for me. I literally was crying like every day, and I did not post it on anywhere. And like honestly, there have been so many growing pains that I've experienced while being here in Korea, but I think what's helped me, I guess, to stay positive and happy despite my situation is partially the gospel of Jesus Christ and just like being a member of the church that I'm a part of. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I believe in God and Christ, and it's a really good time. And I think having the full knowledge that, you know, Christ understands everything that I'm going through and I'm not really alone in my challenges, and how through Christ my challenges and what I go through can help me become like a really good person, and I can grow and learn from them. I think having that sort of perspective has definitely helped me stay positive and happy, and I don't know, I feel a lot of joy in the gospel of Jesus Christ. So yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. But apart from the whole like gospel aspect of it, because I know like many of you are not religious, something that really helps me to stay positive is to, and I've been doing this since I was really young, but see my life as like I'm the main character of a movie. I saw myself as the main character before like the main character vibe ever like became a trend. Like I've always just seen myself as the main character, so whenever I'm having like a really like crappy day, I just imagine like, oh yeah, this is like the part of the movie or the show where like the main character is having like a bad time, but you know, they always get through it, something good always comes out of it. And so I kind of like romanticize, I think, my time here, even the bad times, because I'm like, you know, if it was like a movie, the character grows from this experience and they get better and good things still happen. So I think just growing up with that sort of mindset, really seeing myself as like the character of a show or my life, I don't know, it's just like really helpful for me to stay positive and happy. Yeah, so like literally even if I'm like having the worst day, like crying in bed at like 2 a.m, I'm like, you know, this is such like a main character moment for me. I don't know, that's just how I think, and I think it definitely helps me to stay positive. I'm definitely not the most positive person. I feel emotions very deeply, and honestly, teaching here in Korea and living here in Korea has definitely had a lot of growing pains. I've had a lot of struggles, but I try to look on the positive side. But I also feel my emotions very deeply. I don't try to shove them away. I feel them and get them out of my system. I think that helps as well. I also try to practice gratitude a lot and just notice the good things as well. But I really think seeing myself as the main character of my life story helps a lot as well, and seeing my life as like a movie. So yeah, as far as church goes in Korea, it's great. It's basically the same. My church is like in almost every part of the world, so it's very easy to like find my church anywhere that I'm going to. And yeah, it's a really good time. I enjoy it. I like how I can go wherever I go to in the world and I can find my church there, and they're just teaching the same principles, the same good things, and it feels like home a little bit, so I really like that. Next question, it says working as a teacher is something you want to do in life, ? Sort of. I've done a lot of like self-discovery here about what I want to do in my future, kind of like what profession I'd want to do. I definitely want to keep doing YouTube. I love YouTube, and I'm loving like the growth that we're having on this channel. It's so fun to just like have this little family with you guys. So I definitely love YouTube, want to keep doing that, but I also have made the decision that I want to start on the journey of becoming a professor. I really want to become like an English professor and teach college age like EIL students. Yeah, students who want to learn English, and that makes me really happy. Yeah. So I may end up getting like a master's degree in the future or a PhD in the future. I think it'd be so much fun to be a professor and have my own classroom and teach college age students. So that's kind of the path that I'm on right now, and that's what I'm hoping for. Teaching kids is definitely not my forte, especially like kindergarten, elementary, and middle school I think is still fun, and high school obviously, but college I think is where I want to get to. I want to become a smart professor with lots of knowledge so that I can help people achieve their dreams when it comes to English related things. So yeah. Next question, what makeup do you use, or what's your fave Korean products? Well, here's the thing, I'm still using makeup in Korea that I bought in America. If you want to see like kind of like my makeup routine, because it hasn't really strayed too much, I did make a video about like glowing up before going to Korea, and I'll put that somewhere in this video. And the makeup and products I use are explained in there. The only change I've made since getting to Korea is getting a new concealer. And I mean, I can show it to you right now. I use this brand for my concealer every day, but other than that, yep, it's just the same as I did in that video. I also have some different like Korean lipsticks, but like that's it. I haven't really delved into the makeup world in Korea. I don't know, it scared me, and I do want one of my Korean friends or something to like take me and like get makeup products, but honestly, like I'm not the person to ask. I have no idea. So yeah, sorry. Next question, a teaching related question. How do you lesson plan, and or was lesson planning hard for you? In Korea, there's like no lesson planning, like I'm not gonna lie. Like, you just follow the textbooks. I honestly teach like 7 to 8 textbooks to my kindergarten students, and it's just very straightforward. I never really have to lesson plan unless I want to do like a really, really good activity or something with my kids. But yeah, I never have to lesson plan. I'm never staying after work, but while I'm at work, I'm doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, I have to like plan the week, like what I'm gonna be doing every week. But again, I have all the textbooks, so it's pretty easy. I really don't have to like lesson plan. I just go into work each day and I'm like, all right, so this is my schedule for the day. These are the books. Okay, let's do it. And I feel like that's how it is at most Hagwons. So yes. Next question, are Koreans open-minded with foreigners? I guess the younger generations are more accepting. Honestly, I've had great conversations with like middle-aged Koreans in Korean, and they're like super friendly. I've noticed a lot of that. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting like a good batch of the older generation, but like they're so fun. Like, I don't know. I vibe with people here. I feel like some people hate me again because I'm a foreigner, but like other than that, like I feel like generally people are accepting. And I mean, you're gonna find bad people everywhere. So you can't judge an entire like race or an entire country of people, you know, I just think that's stupid. So my experiences have been great so far. Next question, what's your favorite thing about living in Korea and what is your least favorite? I think my favorite thing about living in Korea is just like, I don't know if this actually counts, but just like, I like romanticizing my life here. Like I started watching K-dramas in like 2014 and like learning Korean and just seeing all these fun things happening in Korea in K-dramas and stuff like that. And I've romanticized like living here so much. So now that I'm actually living here, have my own apartment and stuff like that, I just feel like even like the simple things about living here are super exciting to me, like taking the bus. I love it. It seems so surreal, like when you see all the buildings around you and stuff like that, or just like going to a convenience store late at night to like get some samgak kimbap or something like that. I like romanticize those moments so much because I don't know, I think I don't know. I think the K-dramas that I watch or something, but just like the small little daily living in Korea things, I don't know, I romanticize my life here and it's very easy for me to do so. So I think that's like my favorite thing about living in Korea is just that it's so different and fun. I think my least favorite thing about living in Korea is just a lot of like the like cultural norms that I don't agree with. A lot are work related and I might go over that in another video, but just like, for example, like in America, it's very, like at your work, it's really good to like have ideas and to bring up like solutions to problems and to almost challenge like coworkers and other people like with your questions because you're making the company a better place overall, right? With that type of thing. But in Korea, it's not really a good thing. In Korea, they kind of want you to just be like followers and just like do the work that's given to you and not ask questions and not even give ideas of how to make things better, but to just follow along. And that's the thing that's been really hard for me to adapt to as an American. So that's just an example, but like certain other cultural norms that it's hard for me as an American. So I think that's one of the hardest things about living in Korea, personally. I mean, there's also like the language barrier too. Like it's really hard for me to just like go and do a ton of things independently because of my lack of Korean knowledge. So that's also another thing, but yeah. Next question. What would be your advice for someone who wants to study in Korea as an exchange student? Just do it. Do it for as long as you can. It's like one of the best things ever. If you want a coming of age story in college, go do it. I don't think you will regret it at all. It was one of the best decisions I made while I was in school. So just do it, guys. Just do it. Question, do you see yourself extending your stay in Korea? I'm not sure yet. I'm actually gonna make a video in the near future about my pros and cons of like living in Korea, the best things about it and the worst, because I'm still figuring out if I want to settle down here. And honestly, I really don't know at the moment. I'm not sure, so we'll see. Next question, biggest adjustments to being in Korea and being a teacher? I feel like I'm still adjusting. I don't know, again, I feel like again, it's part of like the work culture. I think that was one of the hardest things about like actually coming here and working. It's just like dealing with Korean work culture, which I did like have no knowledge of. There's a lot that goes into it that I just don't know as an American, so. And also there's just so many cultural differences, so many things that I need to like learn that I didn't need to learn when I was an exchange student, like figuring out my bank account and paying for things like wire transfers and like, I don't know, all this adult stuff, paying for my utilities, how to do that, how to order things, and just like a lot of like, I don't know, adjustments like that. I don't know, they're not exciting adjustments, but just stuff like that. Oh, and figuring out the freaking trash system is so hard. But yeah, just like all these small little adjustments of things that I never had to deal with in America, but now that I have to like relearn here in Korea, it's been a bit frustrating at times, but I'd say that those are some of the biggest adjustments. Next question, what's the curriculum like for your kids? Very heavy textbook based, actually. Even though they're kindergartners, we have lots of textbooks for different things. So yeah, I just follow the textbooks, do different lessons like that. I don't know. Next question, what does planning look like for you? It doesn't look like anything because I suck at planning. Guys, I am like hardcore ENFP for the Myers-Briggs personality if you don't know. And ENFP is like, we just do not plan, we procrastinate, we put things off, we just do whatever we feel like doing at any given time. That's definitely what I do. And I'm trying to work on that because I know it's a weakness and I really need to learn to plan things, especially with how freaking busy my life has become. When I start making lists of things to do, that's when you know Cherie has a lot on her plate, and I've been making lists of things to do this week, so it's something I need to get better at. It's one of my weaknesses, planning. So yes, I need to get better at that. So planning doesn't look very good for me right now. Next question. How much do one need to know the language in order to be a teacher in Korea? You literally don't need to know the language at all. A lot of times the school's gonna help you out with anything that you need to do. So you don't need to know, but I would highly recommend at least learning how to read Korean. Yeah, I suggest that, but technically you don't need to know anything. Next, what's your weekly/monthly budget like? This doesn't exist for me at the moment. Like I told you guys, I don't plan things. Another one of my weaknesses is budgeting. Yep. Yeah, so I definitely need to do that. I've been starting to keep track this week of my expenses, how much I spend on things, and then I think after this month, I'm going to like see generally what I spend on different things, and from there, I'm going to plan a budget. So I've started to recognize my weakness with budgeting and expenses, and I'm working on fixing it slowly but surely. Yeah, yep. Your girl has some weaknesses, guys, and they're pretty bad weaknesses. They're not good. Sorry about the lighting, by the way. I feel like there's like these clouds that are like coming and going, so I apologize for that. Next question, does age and experience matter in order to apply for a job as a teacher? I definitely think if you're younger and American, you are more likely to get hired. That's partial discrimination, I know, but like I feel like, especially if you're younger, they like young teachers who look really bright and excited. Experience, I think experience is always a plus, but I don't think you necessarily need it. All that you need to teach in Korea is a bachelor's degree, but a TESOL certificate is very much, like it's really good to have a TESOL certificate, 100%. And if you want to teach in Seoul specifically, like you're gonna need, like the more experience, the better. So yes, hope that helped answer your question. Next question, what did you do to have such an amazing shape? I think you look great. First of all, thank you so much. Second of all, I eat sugar like every single day here in Korea. Like honestly, my eating habits are not good. I don't know how I'm maintaining, like semi-maintaining my figure here. Like I have no idea. Because I have not been eating very healthy, and it's been really hard to like get back into eating healthy because I was super good before coming here, but now that I'm here, yeah, I'm semi-addicted to sugar. I do exercise every day though, almost every day, and also I've started doing yoga as well. I use the program ATU Mobile to do strength training in my apartment every day in the morning or evening, and I think that's been helping me a lot maintain like my physique. But yeah, I definitely, that's another thing I need to get better at. I've just been so busy, it's been hard to like figure out what to eat, what to do, but I don't know, it has definitely been affecting my body, what I've been eating, and I really want to start to make a healthier shift as 2022 comes around, so yeah. Next question, how do you lesson plan? Do you have a teacher aide with you? Again, lesson plans, like you kind of follow a curriculum anyways, like it's really easy to lesson plan, and yes, I do have a Korean teacher who, like a co-teacher who teaches in the classroom with me. She's great. We didn't get along at first because we were very different, but we kind of had like a talk, a little breakthrough, and we're good now. And our, like, because we're so different, it actually really helps. She gets stressed out easily. She plans things a lot. I don't get stressed out when I'm teaching, and I don't plan things out, but like we work with each other now and really like make sure everything's good, and we balance each other out so it works. Next question, is it hard to adjust to being in South Korea? I'm hoping to teach there in the future. I would say yes, it is hard to adjust, because if you're moving to any new country, it's going to be hard to adjust, I think. If you're moving out of your home country to a new country, especially if you've never been there before, you're definitely going to struggle the first few months, I think. But again, I don't think that's a negative thing, because I think you're allowing yourself the opportunity to grow and develop in a way that you will never do in your home country. Honestly, these past few months, I've gone through so much. I've done so many different things, gotten out of my comfort zone countless amounts of times, but I don't regret it at all because of how much I've grown and the person who I've become through my experiences, honestly. Like, I feel way more confident in myself and my abilities. So yeah, it's been hard. It's definitely been lots of adjusting to new things, new systems, but I am really happy with the person I'm becoming as a result. I feel like we have a tendency to shy away from things that are hard because our bodies don't like that, our minds don't like hard things, but a lot of the times those are really for your benefit because you're growing and developing and stretching yourself and yeah, becoming a stronger person. So just because it's hard doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Life is just hard in general. So yes, to answer your question, it is hard, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Next, do you like K-pop? If so, favorite artist? Okay, yes, I do. I don't listen to it as often as I have before, but I definitely love a good K-pop song every now and again. My favorite group is 17. Love 17. My favorite member was Joshua for a time, but now I'm like not sure. I love Seungwon and I love DK, Dokyeon. I love the whole vocal unit actually, but I do love like all of 17. They're my favorite group. I do also love some BTS songs. I'm not like an ARMY at all, but I do like their songs. And ARMY, don't come at me. We all have like our favorite groups and not favorite groups, okay? BTS is super duper talented, I know. 17 wins my heart every time. Wow, I've gotten lots of questions about discrimination. Honestly, discrimination's fine. Like, it's not bad. I feel like you're gonna get some discrimination anywhere you are in the world, honestly. And so I would not worry about that. I don't know. I don't know if you're specifically talking about like I can only talk about this as my experience being a white foreigner, an American in Korea, because if you're from another country, you might experience more discrimination or less. Like, I don't know. I can just base it off of my own experience, but I haven't experienced much, but yeah, a bit. But again, not enough to be like, oh, the discrimination here sucks. No, just, yeah. Next question, what's something you discovered in Korea but now can't live without? I really don't know. Maybe the fashion? Like, I don't know. They have great fashion in Korea and I'm loving it, so maybe that. Also, my plant Leroy, discovered him in Korea. Don't want to let him go. That was not the answer you were looking for. I'm so sorry, but I don't have a great answer. Sorry. Next question. How do you feel about dating in Korea? Have any of your friends tried to set you up yet? I have gone on a few dates in Korea, but nothing's come out of it. I'm like really happy being single right now. I think it's what's needed for me right now after my long-term relationship that I got out of a few months ago. Yeah, I don't know about dating in Korea. I don't know. I just feel the same about it wherever I am in the world. I don't know. It doesn't depend on which country I'm in. No one's tried to set me up yet, which I'm actually kind of happy about. Except for people freaking on my YouTube comments. Like, what is with you guys? I've gotten so many comments of people being like, you need to find yourself a boyfriend. You need to get yourself a Korean man. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. At first, these comments didn't really bug me. I was like, whatever, to each their own. But guys, why do I need to find a Korean man in Korea? I've even gotten like, people have literally been like accusing me, saying that I went to Korea just to find a Korean guy to marry. And I'm just gonna be blunt with you. Y'all might hate me for this, but honestly, like, Korean men are not my ideal type. Just because I'm in Korea living does not mean that I want to date and marry a Korean guy. That is actually not my ideal type at all. So just so you know, and honestly, I'm just like really happy being single. I was in a long-term relationship for a really long time and like a year and a half, and got out of it the end of August. And so I think I'm just taking this time by myself to discover more about myself, more about what I want in a guy. And yeah, I'm definitely like still like open to going on dates, but like, and if I find the right guy, like that'll be great. But again, like I am just really enjoying being single right now, and I wish that you guys would, I guess, like respect that more, or like not try to tell me that I should date somebody. Anyways, I'm fine. You can post whatever comments your heart desires. I'm just like letting you know how it makes me feel. I don't really like it that much. Part of me feels like it's a bit sexist. I feel like if a guy my age was just like living in Korea, living his life, he wouldn't be getting all these comments being like, oh, you need to find a Korean girl to marry, or you need to go get a Korean girlfriend. Like, so why am I getting comments saying I need to get a Korean guy, or I need to get a guy to date? Like, I don't get it. Usually I don't feel like things are sexist. I haven't experienced a lot of that, but with these comments, I'm like, guys, can you not, just because I'm a woman living alone in Korea, like, can you not tell me that I need to start like getting a boyfriend or getting married, please? Anyways, moving on. I'm good, guys. We're fine here. Next question is kind of like a follow-up, and it is, what is your ideal type? My ideal type is basically a prince. I'm talking like Prince Kai from the Lunar Chronicles series, or Prince Maxon from the Selection series. Gentlemen, lovely men. That is my ideal type. I just want a prince, so if you know any, or great, like those book characters I mentioned, just let me know. Or if you're Thomas Cresswell from the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. That's an exception. He's not a prince, but I love him. So, yes. Sorry, that's all I'm telling you guys about my ideal type. Final question. Do you have any plans / resolutions for new for new 2022 year. I definitely have plans and I definitely have resolutions. I haven't solidified them or written them down yet, but I'm so excited for the new year and I have so many good plans and I actually feel like I have direction in my life and I know what I want to do and where I'm going, and I honestly haven't felt that way ever since I graduated in December 2019. I'm gonna share more about that in the upcoming year, but I'm so excited about where I'm going with my life, where my life has headed me with the person that I'm becoming, and I'm just, yeah. It's been hard these past few months, but it's been so good for me. Like a lot of good growth, so yeah, I'm happy about that. Thank you guys so much for all of your questions. I really appreciated all the questions that you guys have. I didn't answer all of them, like I said, but I did try to answer as many as possible for this video. And I hope it was helpful for you guys who, I don't know, are thinking about coming to Korea, are worried maybe about some things in Korea. Hopefully I eased your mind a little bit. What is this freaking lighting? Why? Like, if you have any more follow-up questions, just DM me on Instagram. I try very hard to answer all my DMs. It's very hard because I'm getting a lot nowadays, but I try really hard and I love to connect with you there. So definitely follow me on Instagram. It's Cherie_more. I also post on my stories like all the time on Instagram, so you guys can find out a lot of stuff just by watching my story. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was a really good time. Yeah, comment down below any other questions you might have. I try to respond to all my YouTube comments, so definitely comment below questions you might have, follow-up questions, and I can definitely answer you in the comments. And thumbs this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and press the notification button so you can be notified every time I post a new video. I have some really, really good videos coming out soon, so you might want to press on that notification button. Cause yeah, lots of good stuff is coming. I'm very stoked. Thank you so much for watching this video and just for giving me your time of day. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.